Hi, this is Johnny. This video is to show you how I use my formula. Those of you who wanted to use it. Now, this formula is not 100% ready to be released, but it is ready to help those people who are working on their own setup. Because this is what I use to set up a ROM. So today I'm going to videotape the Linux that somebody released about 76 ROM, but I found that I think the full pack is more than 76. I think I have I'm not sure, about 83. Okay, so I download the ROM, the 3D ROM from the the site that I mentioned to you guys, that I refer to you, which is, let me just show it to you. You just type Linux, or you could type, yeah, Linux 3D box art from EMU movie. That's the places that have all the ROM. So you go search for that. Then you say, okay, you found all of them right here. Then you click on it, and you have to be log in, which I am. And then you just scroll down, and then you click on view. Sometimes they already have a download, but if it doesn't, you have to click on view, and then it will take you and then to the site. They want you to look at, see if you like it before, I guess, before you download. Sometimes it will take you directly to the place you want it. And I don't know, it's commercial, some on Nintendo. Then it's a version 2. Then it show you all these different one that they have. Okay. Now this one is kind of pain in the neck. When you click download, you have to do one at a time. So I had to do one at a time. Sometimes they give you a whole pack. Now let me take that back. This one does have a whole pack somewhere over here that is say 3D. Because when I was keep on clicking, and then I accidentally click one that say 3D. Let me go back up. No, I don't know how I got I got one of them that it say it was the full pack. There you go. Okay, just download this one, and it will come with 75. But if you download one by one, you get 76. So you just download. It's the same size. Just download this one. All right. So I got the ROM. I got the download, and then I need the ROM. So the ROM part, you have to search for. I already have the ROM pack. Okay. Because I always download Raspberry Pi stuff, so I have a full set of image. So I transfer over, and then I compare the file name. Turn out that the file name is different than the ROM name. The ROM name have USA, Europe, and this one doesn't. So I have to go one by one, rename those to match. Okay. So once you got the artwork, you got the ROM, they both have the same name, and you want to make sure that you don't have anything, you don't miss anything. So there's 166 with art, and so I compare it to make sure that all the name is correct, which I have to wind up renaming every one of them. But the pack is not big, 76, so it's not too bad. All right, so the next step you have to do before you use my formula is go to DOS and run a directory command. When I mean directory command is you have to, okay, so I'm in what drive? iDrive, I believe. Change directory and do Control V. Yeah, it will take you to that folder that we were in. Okay. If it doesn't work, sometimes if you do that, if it doesn't work, you might have to do a double quote and double quote because there's a space between the name. I tried to not to put space, but if you have space, then it won't. When you do cd change to the directory, it won't work until you put the quote, double quote. Okay, so once you're here, you type directory dot Linux LYN. I think that's abbreviation. No, is it NY? Let's check, make sure the name is correct. Okay, LNX. So it's L and X. So that's the ROM name, and you want to do it directly sideways. So you just get the name. You don't get the, if you don't do it sideways, you will get the date, the time, and everything, and the byte. And you don't want that. You just want the name, because you're trying to get the game list. Once you get the game list, then everything become easy. My formula will do everything for you. Okay, not, well, pretty much everything, not 100% everything, but you still have to do some minor stuff. But the main thing is going to be creating your ROM information, your game INI for you, and those are the two main one. And then it also helped you rename the folder and rename the ROM for you, so you don't have to worry about the names being too long or stuff like that. So those kind of stuff is very helpful. So you do W, then you do greater sign, then you say game. I'm gonna put Linux game list. So I know exactly what this is. I like to put more detailed information before I don't. Then when I look back in the past, like later on, I'm busy doing something, then I come back and I'm like, what all this mean? And I can't find anything. So it's best to put everything in a full name is better. So now we have a name here. Now we have the game list, so we're going to create the using the formula, but at the same time we have to resize it. And the way I resize I use the paintbrush editor. It's the fastest one to open quick, and you could view the size by looking at the bottom here. It says 600 by 820. The maximum size for the reason I know, because I do it so much, the maximum size is 254 is the widest you want to get, okay, by pixel. And the longest you want to get is 304. If you get anything bigger than 304, it's gonna cut your enemy. I mean, it's gonna be too long. The picture will disappear from the screen. In other words, so 304 is the maximum. And so what I try to do is, okay, I want this box art to be big, and people like it. So let's put 304. Okay, so the longest I could get before it run out of the screen is 304. So that means the width would be 222, because I didn't want to change the way it looks. I want the original look of the box. I don't want it to make it kind of awkward shape. So I try to keep it as, because when I say awkward shape, meaning that if I click OK, it's going to be the same exact the size. But if I could change it to awkward shape, meaning that, let's go ahead and view in zoom in so we can see a little bit bigger. So what we're going to do is make the size different. And when you mean that you could make it longer, like make this part, take the check off, keep it the biggest you could get and the widest you could get. So this is the biggest you could get without creating a problem where it disappeared the artwork. So 254 and 304, you can write that down to let yourself know the maximum. Now this is changing the shape of this box. Okay, normally I don't want to do that. Okay, you could change it like that. The reason I'm thinking about changing it is because we don't have an official box size. I have not seen one. I mean, I download the set, and then when I go Google search, when I'm creating the box art, I find out that some of the box art have different shape. I don't have a good one now. Let me see if I can find one like this one. This shape is very different than the one. It's much longer, and is, yeah, it's longer, and so it's not really officially look like this. So there's two versions. There's this one, which is more square, and then there's this one. So which one you want to use? So I decided, you know what, since I cannot come up with which one is the best one, I just go ahead and make the size, because a lot of people like it very big. Okay, So let's see exactly. I think I got both of them in on my download. So we could do 204 and 304. Let's close that for now. Because I had to decide, because once I make a decision what size I want, it's harder to go back and redo it. Okay. So here's my box art. I try to keep this consistent. So right now there's 87, well 86 minus the folder, minus the zip file, so minus 3. So instead of 84, total 84. What about 84, 83? Okay, so let's look at the Ninja one, because with the one we just look at is, okay, we look at this one, but we haven't looked at this one. So I'm curious is exactly how big this one is. So this is 400 by 424, so almost a perfect square. So if I was to resize this without take that off, because when you don't take it off, you keep the same tradition, the same exact, it's like you shrink it the both sides at the same time. Okay, so if I change this one to 254, then the longest is 269. So I think I will use that one instead. Excuse me. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to use the 264 instead, because I think 269 is too big. So I'm going to use 254 to be the widest, and then the long I'm going to do 269. So I think that, to me, I think look much better, because the other one looked more like a like a, because it looked more like a, not a Lynx look, but it looked more like a, like Sega game box. Okay, so once you decided what size you want, then, because the download is all this size, but this one is the one that just Google search, it looked more like this. You know what, let's do this. Let's be more consistent. Let's go check for the physical box, like the one they sell in the store, because they cannot, you know, they're not made. They actually a physical Photoshop. So let's go to Amazon. Yeah, this is the stuff you have to do in order to, you know, you have to do research to find out exactly, you know, what size is the correct size. Not trying to make your own artwork. I mean, yes, you sometimes you do have to make your own artwork, but you want to keep the traditional look. Oh, nope. See, they didn't even give you the way the box look. I think it's just a. I don't think people actually have the physical box. See, this is. I don't think they have physical box they could show you. They just show you the front cover. They don't show you the physical. Now the physical box look like it's long. It doesn't look like it's pulled sideways. So maybe we should keep it long instead. So let's keep it as 222 and 304 then. 222 by 304. Okay. And then I write that down. The reason you have to know is because once you change the size, you can't change it. Okay. Back. All right. So now let's look at our formula. Well, first we have to open the the game that the list we just created, which is the text file. So I always recommend using Notepad++. So you open up Edit Notepad++. The reason I like, you could do a lot of stuff with Notepad. When you do some more research, you could do cut, replace. There. So I want to get rid of the extra stuff that I don't need. So it's 83 game total with. So instead of 76 game that came from the original guide by Sammy Sampson, he created the Atari 76 game, and we are going to merge it to Johnny's build. Okay, so to do that, because his is a independent, and a lot of people they don't just want to play Atari, especially Atari game is stretch, so they want to play other game other than Atari, but they like the work he done. So what I'm going to do today is merge them so you could add on to your build. So that way, every a lot of stuff will keep. We're going to try to keep as much as we could from his artwork, from his design. But some of the stuff have to go because you cannot use. When you click on the game, when you click on a game, it go Atari. Okay. Problem is Atari does not work with other game system like Neo Geo, and you cannot make one for AV console because the hack does not give us that option. If that, you know what I'm saying? If the hack give us that option, yeah, we would like to make one for AV console. That would be so cool. Atari, Nintendo, you know, PlayStation, and then Sonic. So okay, so we got 183 games. That's what you want. But here's the problem. I'm not sure they're sorted by order, but I think they are. Okay, more likely they are alphabetic order. So I'm going to assume because the game when you do directory should be in the sorted order. So now we have to open up a file that right now that I'm working on is arcade. Now this one arcade is not going to work with any of your build because it's made to only work with arcade. So it's going to create a problem. Now I have two type of game. This is a gameless, and there is this one. If you already have the game, you drop it in here and it will give you the game. But I'm not going to use his gameless because I already have a gameless. Now this one is when you already have a gameless and you wanted to create all this for you. You drop it into this location. But I'm going to go find the one that's more the latest one because I actually create one for every different console, but I think it's best since let's go to Game Boy. Now Game Boy would have to do some minor change. Maybe I should do Game Boy Advance. Is this a Game Boy Advance I'm opening? Because Game Boy only have two extension GG and Lynx have LY LNX. So this one is good. This is Game Boy. Okay. I like to keep one for AV system because if I don't, sometimes some of them have special like this one you have to rename something. So I like to keep one for each console. So it might be wind up would be 41 file of this formula because otherwise you will have to rename it every time you like I'm doing. I'm going to be renaming it. So now this one I'm using handy as the code, okay, and there is 83 game. So 83 game using handy underscore libretro.so, okay, and then I'm going to save it. All right. So whatever this one I do, it would be only for. So it depends what you have. If you have the game list already, you drop it here, it will create one for you. So for example, we're gonna go look at his. Okay. That's fine. We could go this folder. We're going to go to J drive. Open a new one. Okay. And there's his version when you download it. Okay. When you download it, you get ASP and then you get location. And the only thing he have is a game list. Okay. So let's just say if you are using his game list and you edited the game list and you want to use this. See, this is a problem. I don't want to use Notepad. I want to use Notepad++ because, okay. So here you could select Control A and hold down the Shift and press the left button. So you highlight the list. So you copy the list. Now his list does not have description. Mine will. His do not have it. Okay. So that means we also have to fix his artwork because it won't look good because his artwork is so close to the box that you don't have space to put description. So when you put your description, it will look kind of weird because the name is on top of the dark color, which you can't even see it. So we will have to fix the artwork as well. So let's just say we use that just for learning purpose. Okay. So you delete, you come to this one. This one is for you have game list.ini. All right. So you come here and then you delete the old one. So all this thing will disappear. Okay. Then you paste the new one. Okay. And once you paste it, it will give you the file, physical file name, which is this. And then it's supposed to give you something else, but it doesn't because he didn't have a description. And here, since we are working on Linux, you will have to manually in the back change to LNX. Okay. See, this is the things is if I give you this kind of stuff, if you're not familiar how to change that, and you take it, you're gonna say, Johnny, it doesn't work because it's using as a Game Boy. So I'm trying to create one per each console. So if you're using Linux, Lynx, not Linux, Linux is a Unix, like Lynx, and you will change that to Lynx. And if you have to change it two places, okay? Now here's the problem with this one. Now, once you change it on the top, you want to change everything at the bottom. You click on the corner on the right. You double click it and it will populate a cell to the bottom. Okay, so those are only two things. But the problem, oh, one more, three things. Because you want the game folder to, I would like to separate my game folder. I don't like the game folder to have is just the game name. I want to change it to LNX underscore. Okay, so that means all the game that is coming over, it will become LNX. And it was supposed to work, and you are supposed to copy the game and rename it. Okay, but we can't because there's no description. And then here is supposed to take the picture and change it to its own folder, and that's not going to work. So we cannot use his game list because he doesn't have a name description. So this is made for people who have name description. So this will not work for people who using the HyloStick Pro version 1.2, which is 2D artwork. So this is made for my artwork because I put description on mine. Okay, so if you are not using the same kind of work, same kind of design I'm using, this will not work for people who doesn't have name description. Okay, so we can forget about that one. So we're going to use mine. And the way we use mine is you go to the D, and I tried to add an extra help command on the top, sorry, on the very top. There's a little comment and tell you, if you point to it, it's supposed to tell you to paste it here. Oh, I don't have it. I've been changing a lot, so it's gone. Anyway, you're going to go ahead and delete this. Just highlight it, press delete. Now you're going to go to your game list, which is in Paintbrush. And so this one is useless for us, but if we're just going to get rid of it, we're going to take this one that we just created, 83, that I just download and compare the artwork. So the name is exactly the same. Okay. Now I think there's a comment. This one have a comment. You say paste your game list here. Okay. So we're gonna paste your game list here. We're gonna paste it. And once it pasted, you have to have the LNX with it. Okay, you cannot just the name. You have to have the extension. Once it posted, it's going to generate on this side. But the problem is this formula is not made for three digit, it's made for 2 digit. See, that's why it's having some problem. So that's why I say this formula is good based on per console. So if there's 40 game console, I have to make 40 of them because this one is only 2 digit. So we have to change this like we did over there, change that to Linux and press enter. And then we have to come here and double click it. So they all become Linux. Okay. Then we have to do the same thing. Okay. We're doing the middle of the video. Don't have time right now. Sorry. Okay. Then L and X. I want to name all the box art with L and X. So I know that that belongs to Linux. So when I want to copy and paste it out, I know which one belongs to which game console. I don't have to guess which artwork belongs to where. So this is a good practice to have. Okay. If you don't have this, you don't know what is what. All right, so that is done. There is one more problem here. It's because the way I told it to delete 3, we have to delete 4. The reason we are deleting 4 is because there's 4 digits counting the decimal. So if you count that is X, N, L, and dot. So there's 4 digits. So we are deleting instead of only 3 because it left a period here. So we need to take that, double click it. I think the comment is in the wrong place. It should be on this side. I think I did cut and paste and I lost the comment. You're not supposed to paste here, you're supposed to paste here. Okay. See, that's just something I don't know how to get rid of the comment now. Edit. Let's just cut this and then save it. Can we just delete it? Yeah, delete it. Okay. Here's the one you need to add a comment. Let me add new note. Okay. I'm using my son's computer. That's why he's having a name there. That's not good either. Everywhere is going to say Matthew. Okay. So you paste your stuff over here. So what it does is it take the extension out, move it over here, then it rename it to a shorter name. So this actually don't need to be seen. It should be just hidden. Okay. So it take the name, change to a shorter name, and then give it the game folder using the same name, but now everything is lowercase without the L and X. Make this to a Linux folder, so all the game is going to come to this side. Okay, I'm not going to go into the formula stuff because that itself is another long topic. Okay. All right, so here's something that I changed that I should not change. I think I was changing it due to the other program. Huh, this one's missing something. This one's missing the, this is, what's the D24140? That formula is messed up. Shoot. See, stuff like that, if you don't know how to fix it, it become a problem. Even though I thought it was ready, and now I'm looking at my formula and realize something have changed. So this one need to be on the top, the first one, because it's D1. This one, some reason, is screwed up. Pointing to the wrong location, D140. It's not supposed to be in D140. Okay. So this one, it looks like it's a duplicate. So what I'm going to do is take that, double click it. Now everything is changed correctly. It say copy everything of the physical name, put it into a different folder, and name it L and X. So in other words, I am not renaming the original. I want to keep it for future use. Okay, in case I need it, I have the physical name. Because if I name it to a strange name only for HyloStick, this cannot be used for somewhere else. It only could be used here. So, and the reason there's a greater sign file.txt because it's going to ask you, since you are creating an extra folder, is this going to be a file or is this going to be a directory? So you have to, inside this file, you have to create another file called F, represent file, and then press file, enter. You have to have an enter, so it will go into the next line. If you just press F and you don't press enter and you save it, it's going to ask you, please press enter. And then you have to press enter for every one of them. So this will automatically do it for you. Now let's go check the other copy. This one, see, this is all messed up. This is D1, that's correct. And this is F1. Okay, then I'm going to copy this formula back up. I didn't know how this one got messed up in the first place. But see, the formula could easily get messed up, especially it's not locked. This formula is not locked, meaning that you could view, you could edit, you could change it, and that could lead into a dangerous situation. Where, see, it was naming in the wrong area. It was naming alien to awesome. Now it's alien to alien. See, that was correct. You know, APB ball, all point, yeah, booted. So now all this is correct. So this is the two that we're going to copy out to change the name and the picture. Okay. So the first one we're going to do is rename the ROM because in order for HyloStick to work, we had to name it without the space. So we're going to take all that, copy, and we're going to rename it. So we're going to go to the same folder that we have the ROM, and we can't do it here. We have to do it from the file export. Okay. So we're going to go into, later we come back to this because I need his picture and his animation. And I think that's pretty much it I need from that folder. So right here where the Lynx is, I'm going to create a new file. So the formula is done. Now you're ready to put everything together. So you got the game list, you put the game list, the formula is fixed. Now it should work. Here you're going to type in rename the ROM to a shorter name and change this to a batch file. Why are we naming like that? You could call it anything. The reason I want to put in detail because when I look at that file, I say, oh, that's what that file is doing, is renaming the Lynx 83 ROMs to a shorter name. Now it's saying that you're changing the format because it was a text file, now it's a BAT. If you don't change it to BAT, you double click it, it won't work. Now, if there's nothing inside, you double click it, it's going to give you this because there's nothing inside. All right, just let you know because some people, I did that by accident. I'm like, why is it getting the error message? That's why. Here you're going to type Control V. You're going to paste the formula for you because the formula created for you. Now I want to check to make sure it worked because I don't want to assume, so I do a pause. Pause means do those four, stop. Let me see if there's any error. If there's no error, I press enter. It's going to continue with the rest of it. Save it, close it. Now, here's one more problem. If you don't create that file and you click it, it won't work. So you need to create another one called new text file. This is why I say if I just give you the formula, you're not going to know how to use it if there's no video on this. Okay, here you're going to type in F for file, enter. Then you're going to say save. You have to press enter, okay? Otherwise it will stay over here and waiting for you to press enter. So press enter and save it. Now if you run the batch file, it's going to do all of them. It's going to see right here, it say, is this a file or directory? You say F, enter. Then you say copy. Then you come here and he asks you, he's asked you a question. You gave him an answer. And this is what this is doing, is give it an answer, say it's a F for file. And he say copy, continue. So all of them, copy, copy, copy is good. It's working. So we press enter and let it finish. So you just rename the ROM and you are halfway, well not halfway, but you are physically have what we're doing now, step 2, is physically getting ready for HyloStick by renaming the ROM and renaming the pictures. The next one will be the pictures. Alright, so we check for the ROM folder. Here's the ROM folder. We're going to click on it. This is the 83 ROM that we just created, which is ready for Hylo. We're going to copy that ROM. Then we're going to put it into the ROM folder. So I'm going to do new folder, and I'm going to put Lynx 83 original game name. Okay, and I'm going to go by type. I'm going to take all the ROM that I just named, put it in there. I can save it for later. I'm going to drag it instead of copy and paste because I have a copy already in my original. So I'm just going to move it. Okay, so now only thing left is the picture. Here is the ROM. Okay, we need to copy the ROM outside. So we're going to do all that later. Let's go ahead and take care of the pictures first. Now the picture have the wrong size. It's 600 by 820. So if you view the picture by large icon, they have two different size. Most of them are this size, but there are some that I have to create using this program right here, which I have to design my own pictures. Okay, see, I designed this one, I use the same box art, I created this one, and then I go up, then I create this. This is how I shrunk it and stuff. And then I create another one that I create using the same box art, then I create this one, and so on and so on. So there's a lot of box art that I have to create because there's no box art for it. Couldn't find it. Okay. All right. So let's minimize that. So we're going to change this box art size. So to do that, and then plus we're going to create a folder because the game need to be inside the folder name, and the name have to be renamed to be cover. So there's like 3 things we have to do. We're going to resize it for resize it. So we are going to type the command from my list. And so I look for something which I already created, Lynx. So we're going to say take all this. I want to name it 222 by 304. Okay, minimize that. And we're going to change the size. Oop, not this one. We're going to do right click. Okay, we're going to take all the sizes of the box art, change it all to the same size. Now, I want you to look at it from here, and you will see that the box art is getting changed. Once we press enter, all the size will start to changing. Okay, press enter. Just press enter again. Why is my enter not working? Okay, now it's finally working. I guess because I moved the mouse around. So look at the picture. You will start seeing that the picture size starts shrinking, changing. See, it's changing. It's done. Should be done by now. So picture size is changed. Now you're gonna ask, well, how do you know that? You point to it and you give you a number, say 222 by 304. They all change to 222 by 304. So now the box art is ready for you to move it to its own game folder. So I'm going to go back to my Excel Linux 83 game. I'm just going to go across, and here is saying copy the physical name. Oh shoot, there's double dot. See, I'm glad I checked it before I start to run it. It won't work. Why is there a double dot? Linux. On high. Okay. I thought I fixed it. That there shouldn't be no double dot. Copy and then double dot. Why is it there double dot? I bet the formula somewhere here is double dot. Oh, -3. Here need to be. Yeah, I didn't like this formula that it pointing to -3. Oh, because I changed it. So it need to be D1. I don't need this extra formula here. It's creating me problem. The reason I added because I didn't want it to. I don't know why I did it that way in the first place. It should be just D1. You're gonna say, well, you lost me, Johnny. Yes, I know I lost you because this is the formula I created and there's something wrong, I could fix it. Okay. I don't want it to minus something because I already have a, oh, the reason is because it's getting it from, so now you have a double name. So I don't want the, I wanted the physical name is C. Yeah, I want this name. I want a C1, not D1. D1 already have the extension. I want a C1. See, if the formula is ready, then it will work. But the formula is not correct. C1. I want to copy the C1, rename it, add a BNG on it, and put it into a folder, and then rename the folder into cover.bng. Okay, so now there's no extra period, no extra stuff. Whenever I did the Game Boy, I did so many changes to it. Now it doesn't work with the normal one, normal 3-digit. All right, so it's saying get the physical name. That's the reason I say the ROM and the picture have to have the same name. Put it into Linux folder. Create that folder for me. Rename this file picture into cover.png. And it is a file name. So I need to create that file thing again. And then you take that. You think this is a lot of work. Imagine you have to do all this manually. That's more pain than that. Ah, I hate it when I select it and disappear. All right, copy. All right, so we copy the 83 of them, and we are going to go to that folder, which is this one. And let's make this one big. So what we're going to do is create a text file. We already create a file here where we could use the same one. And now here we're going to say new text file. We're going to say rename the PNG to cover and create a folder for each BNG, and this is for Lynx. Okay, Lynx 83 game. And you could just leave it as a text file and come back and change it. So you could press enter without have to edit. Just Control V, and there's everything's ready for you. I'm going to pause it, make sure it worked before I assume it worked. Type the word pause and then save it. Close it. All right. So now if I click on this, you're gonna say, well, Johnny, why did it open? It doesn't work. I did this on purpose because sometimes we do that. We're not familiar with the text file and batch file. In order to run, you have to type in, change it from text to BAT, B-A-T, batch file. That's why I call it batch file. Are you sure? Yes. Now, if you double click it, it's going to run the program. Okay. Now it's saying you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 created. Do you want to continue? Well, let's check to see if it's there. Okay, so we're going to refresh. There's those 6 files. Okay, and they have pictures inside. Picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the picture name? Cover. Nice. And what's the size? 222 by 304. See that? 222 by 304. Good. That's what we want. So if you want to view it bigger, that's the new artwork we are going to get for all the system. Okay. All right. So we're going to close this one. We don't need to open that one. We just open it just to see. Maybe I should have go back, close the program. Close the folder. Let's open another folder. No, that's not the folder. This is not the folder. I need to open up a folder. Here we go. Let's go back to the iDrive, my USB drive. Where's my USB drive? Go to ASP, and we are in the ROM folder right now, working on the not ASP ROM itself, ROM folder, and we are creating Lynx. So Lynx is right here, and those are the boxes. So so let it do its own thing. We have the original game, and we are putting them in the box up. All right. So let's make this bigger, and we're gonna continue running the batch file. So we're gonna press enter, let it run. See that? It's creating all this. See that? It's doing all that for you. You don't even have to copy it, rename it. Everything's done for you. This is really saved me a lot of time. Instead of 1 week, I could do this in 3 to 4 hours. It's done. So whatever how long this video takes, that's how long it takes me to do one console. So it's done. All right, so now we are going to copy those folder all the way up to the top. Highlight it. It should be 83. Boom. 80. Why is there 80? Something is not created. There's a problem. Oh, there's some in the bottom. Scare me. 81, 82, 83. There you go, 83. Maybe I was too fast. The batch file did not finish. All right, so now we're going to copy that. We're going to cut. And guess where we're going to put it? In the ASP game folder. Okay. This is where all the game is located. Okay. This is where they get the picture box art. So we're going to paste this right here. So we're finished with the box art. Okay. Now we need to put the ROM back. So let's go back to the ROM. Okay. So this is the original game, and this is the physical ROM. So we're going to highlight the whole thing and move it out of here. Only thing I want to keep is the ROM, because that's what the original, that's the new one we just created. So I'm going to cut all this and put it into my download 3D. So in case in the future, if I have to change anything, I have the already pictures here. And I'm going to put it into my box art, which is Lynx. And this is the original size. So I'm going to go new folder. And I'm going to say this is the Lynx, not Lynx, Lynx. Lynx 222 by 304 the size. And it's the 3D for ANANGASP, and paste this. So I have the one that I just created. So in case I have to run another command, I have that. Like if I want to put it in Neo Geo Mini. Neo Geo Mini, you have to do another size change. Okay, so those are the original. This is the program. Where's my artwork? There's my artwork. Excuse me, I thought, where's my artwork? Didn't come through. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. That's the game. That's the original game, and that is the box art. Okay, now I need to go back to my originally was. All right. So I need to take all this out. I need to cut it. The 83 I just created, I need to put it back here. So if there's nothing in here, I could delete that folder. Alright, so there's 83 game right now, Linux, and they all got renamed. So now we could use it. But now the question is, well, Johnny, you need the ROM list, ROM information, and game information. Okay, so we need to get that. So we finished with physically name, rename everything. All those are done. Well, this I'm working on some other stuff. Alright. So here's the thing: is that okay? We're ready to work on it, but how are we going to do it? So if you go into the game list, will have a ROM information. This one do not. This one, everything is here. If you go across, you're gonna have your game INI. You're gonna have your ROM information, and your game list is on this side. On this side, see. But the problem is he doesn't have a name description, so my formula do not work. So that's the reason we're using this one. So once this is done, there's some other stuff that this program does. It rename the file, so you don't need to worry about those, because those are just for me to. Only the green one on this one, game list, you need. Okay, so now we're going to. It used to be right here. I move everything into one folder, so everything is here. And so this one you really do not need it no more. And this is my template to sort the file in alphabet order. So this two you don't need. Okay, just so you know, you don't need those two actually. But I have it just because I use it for reference, or not reference, but yeah, because this is my own way of naming stuff, so I use that. All right, go back to ROM information. This is your ROM information that you're going to copy into the Neo Geo folder, but this console is pointing to the wrong thing. So I need to look at see what name did I call it. Okay, plus this is in the wrong place. It need to be not Game Boy, it need to be Linux. So if I type YLYN, how do I name it? I think I name it like that, correct? LYNX. Let's check it. Yeah, LYNX. This is a physical location of my ROM. This is where he's gonna find this. Okay. So far so good. So if I change that and then press enter, look over here, all the GW is going to change, all the GG is going to change to Linux folder. See that? Now it's pointing to ROM Linux, and those are the game. ROM Linux, those are the game. And then this is a physical, which is a tie into game INI. Now, the ID is not correct. Of course, we know that ID is not correct. So we want to know which ID that I want to double check it before I assume that is called. So I'm going to go to Retro, and I'm going to go to the bin. Now my question is, did I create one called Linux or did I create one for Handy? There's Linux and there's Handy. There's two of them. So which one to use? I use the Linux because that's the one I create. I also create one called Handy. So if you look at it, if you open both files, they exactly look the same. Okay. So I don't need the game list anymore. Let's close that one off. Alright. So if you was to open up the Linux, Linux is pointing to Handy. So that's fine. And Handy is also pointing to Handy. So they're both exactly the same. Okay. So but if I put Handy, people who doesn't know what Handy mean, this is a code that run link. I keep on calling Linux link. I apologize. I keep on saying link. Atari link. And this is the core that run the links, but it makes more sense to use it as LYN instead, LYNX. So I'm gonna use that as my ID. So I already have that file. So here I'm gonna change that to the same name, LYNX, because that is telling it that that is the core that you wanted to run right here. You could pretty much call it anything, but make sure that you point to the right core called Handy. Need some water. Okay, so now this is ready for me to copy into ROM information. So this is the Linux stuff. And there's only, so when you see the word embodied, you stop there. You don't want to copy those. Okay, those are the one that that's what you're going to copy out. And you're going to go to Notepad. I think I have one open already. ROM info. You want to make sure that it's pointing to the right place. It's pointing to ASP hack ROM info.txt. This is the one. So what I'm going to do is scroll all the way down to the bottom and created a border thing called pom. So I know where this start and where it finish. This is the Atari Linux 83 games. Today's date, March the 19th, 2021. And just gonna put pound, and I'm gonna put the word begin, and then when it finish, I'm gonna put the word end, so I know where it start, where it finish. The reason I'm typing it is because I already have copied it to my clipboard, and I don't want it to lose it. Otherwise, I have to go back to it and do it again. So I'm gonna come here to the bottom, do right click and paste. There's all my Linux program. And I'm gonna scroll up to the top and copy this so I don't have to type it again. Copy, and this one should be the end of Game Gear, not begin. Okay. So we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to type that last thing in there. So we know that is the end of this Atari Lynx. So later, if I want to do add-on, I know where to find it. I know the breakdown. Now, I didn't do that in the past with the arcade. That's why I have to spend more time trying to figure out which part belong to the working one and which one is the beta one that I'm testing. So that's why it's taking so long, because I'm getting confused, because I did not did the. This is a good practice, so you could find everything. You could copy and paste and give it to somebody without have to hesitate. Like, where's all my game? Okay, there's a breakdown. This is all the Lynx. This is all the Game Gear. Okay, now those two are done, but now is the Lynx part. The game INI is not done yet. So what we're going to do is how we do that. Okay, so you go to your ASP folder. You're going to go to your location. Inside your location, you have one called LAN underscore array. So you're going to open that. You're going to edit that file. Okay. In that file, I put numbers. Those are the number you're going to follow. So the next one, it will be 42. Okay. And it will be a square bracket, and you're going to type in the folder name, which is LYNX. That's what I call it, the folder name. It is a folder name. You have to be matching with your physical folder name. If not matching, you're going to have a problem. Use a less than sign, and you type in Atari and then Lynx. Atari Lynx. And then the greater sign. And that's it. You're done. Okay? That's so when you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see this one, 41. Then you're going to say save. Okay. Now we're going back to the game INI. And that is 41. So we come here and we're going to pick, it doesn't matter which one we use. We could pick any one of them. All right. So I guess let's pick a tall. It doesn't matter. Just copy. And we're going to paste. Here we're going to name it this folder has to match the one we just typed in, which is L, Y, and X. This one have to match. Okay. Now we open up the I used to have, okay, that's fine. All right, let's open up the game INI. We're gonna do edit, Notepad++. Here's the new one, and we're gonna name this to Atari ATRI Lynx 83 game. And we are going to remove the old one because those old ones are not belong to Atari. Okay, so we're gonna go to the Atari, and now we're gonna go to game list. Here's all the game lists from already created for you. Description and pointing to LNX ID, and that is the physical folder of the game. This have to match with the game folder as well with the ROM information. So they all tie in together. So you don't understand it, that's fine. Just copy and paste. That's about it. Okay, so went too far. Need to go back up. There you go. Copy it. Okay, so we go tab over, and now ready to paste it. It should say 82 because start with a 0. Okay, so 82. See that? 82. And that's it. You're done. But one more thing, save it. You have to do the artwork and the animation. But one thing good is somebody already did that for us. Okay, the guy named Samuel Simpson. So we're gonna go to Samuel Simpson folder and copy those. So we're gonna go back out, Okay, so we're gonna go back out again. So the hack photo is already done. We name it correctly. ROM photo is done. Game photo is done. We already created the artwork. Now we have to go to image. We do not have the animation in the picture 41. Is it 41? Did I say? Because that number have to match. If it doesn't match, then it doesn't work. I believe it's 41. So we look at this one, scroll down. Yeah, 41. Oh, call both of them 41. This one need to be 42. Would it cause a problem? No, it doesn't. It's just you're gonna confuse when you label your file. You're gonna label it incorrectly. 41 is for Game Gear, 42 is for Linux. But those are just number for you to know. Instead of counting from top to bottom, you have a number, so you don't have to count. You just say, okay, for next one will be 42. So make it easy for you. That's about it. That's what the number is there for. All right. So we are going to look for the one that came from the download, which is over here by Samson Samuel. He have a folder called image. Okay, he had a global 0. This is the artwork that he did. Okay, but there is a problem with this artwork. Why? Because it doesn't match with the name description. So we're going to edit this, and we have to change this. So view, zoom out. We have to change the picture to make it work. So I'm going to open up one of my old picture to match it, and then we could use that to fix the artwork. Okay, I already have one here, but I don't know, did I fix it? I don't think I did. Okay, I'm gonna use the PlayStation 38. Okay, sorry. We're gonna edit PlayStation 38. Gonna view, zoom out. Okay. Now we got a picture side by side, so we could fix this picture problem. This is a lot smaller than his, okay? Because I have description, he doesn't. So we have to move this up to here. So up to close to where the line is, close to here. So what we're going to do is take this, make everything, we're going to use that dipping, sucking liquid, make sure it's the same color gray, and then we're going to go to edit and then add that picture color. We're going to make both of them the same color, so when we cut and paste, when we drag and make it smaller, we will not create a white background. We will have the same color as the wallpaper on the bottom. All right. So now we have to drag this picture smaller than it was before. And we say it's right underneath this line. So that's the picture size. So now the picture will not block the physical name. So the physical name will be up here. But do I really want this color, or do I want the same color as wallpaper? I want the same color as the wallpaper. So I'm going to go ahead, select this again. And I'm going to copy the wallpaper. And then I'm going to make it bigger. Alright, so now the wallpaper is good. But now this picture, this here is too small. And we need this to be big like this one. Okay, so we're going to change direction. And we're going to compare it from here. Oh, we still cannot see it. So now the height in this is the same. The height from this to this is the same. This is still the same. This is too small for my font. So I had to change it to this side. Now I could cut it and paste it, or I could make this just bigger. You could do either way. If we make this one bigger, this name is huge. I wonder, should we shrink it down? Let's go ahead and use my original picture here. Cut the box and put it there. Okay, I do a steady hand. So we don't bring any blue over. Copy, and we're going to move that over here. Now I'm going to use the blue and blue. Why? Because I don't want blue to come over. So you're going to make it transparency. Then we're going to paste that. So now we don't have that extra blue. We could just paste it over. I think that should work. All right. So that's the new box art for. So this picture will work now. So we're going to go File. We're going to save it. We're going to save it where? We're going to save it in my iDrive. ASP, ASPH, this one, and I'm gonna put it into image and call this number 42. Yes, you lose the transparency. Yes, I know. All right, so now this is ready for my version of Atari. All right, so we could minimize it in case we need to come back, minimize that. All right, so now we got the Atari 42 ready, but we don't have animation 42. So we gotta go to the main, and we are going to look 41. We need a 42. So if you was to view this in a large picture frame, those are the animation. Okay, so we need a 42. Now he have created one, so we're gonna go to main, and we're gonna grab his animation. So why need to create if you already have one, correct? And he did a good job. It's sad that I have to lose a lot of stuff that he created because we cannot have the same duplicate. Okay, so we're gonna copy that. Before I copy it, let's go ahead and rename it to 42, so I don't accidentally replace anything. And we're gonna go ahead, click on it, copy, and paste it. And if you want to look at it, this is what the animation. It goes from big, 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 and then it goes smaller and smaller, and then go back up. And there's only 12 pictures, starting with 0, total is 12. All right, so that animation is done. Now I don't know, it's big enough. Hopefully it should be big enough for, what size is this anyway? Good, it's using the maximum. When you use this, the maximum is going to be at the very bottom of the left. It started with the corner left because my box is very big. My box is 254 by 308. So it's still going to, it won't cover the box. It won't cover the 3D box, so it's going to be right in the corner at the bottom. So this is a good size. That's the correct size for mine to work. Now he have also created game focus, and this we can use it because, well, this is the same one. This one we cannot use it because I have my own animation. Now there's one more thing that he created, is a help thing. I don't know by bringing his help thing over will do anything. So we're gonna go into the Lynx and bring some of his information like help over here, see if it make any difference. See, this is my help thing. So we're gonna go to his Lynx, which is location, and we're going to go to his help and see if there's any difference. There should be. So I'm going to copy that and put it over here. And it's taking a long time to load. Okay, so he has his information about his Lynx stuff. So I'm going to do Control A. I'm going to copy his information and paste it over here. So we will replace all. So we will have his Lynx information, how everything is put together. And he got a lot of stuff that he added. So all those are here. There's like 37 information. So we're going to check it out, see if this still works. This help stuff. All right. So that's pretty much it. We could also copy his copyright INI, and that's about it. Copyright. So let's copy the copyright over here. Place. All right. So let's pop it out and we could test it. But that's pretty much it. This is how you have to do this to make it work. So we got the ROM, we got the INI, we got the pictures. So that is pretty much the video. Hopefully this helped, and look at it, see if you understand it, and have fun using it. And let me make sure I save that file, and then I'll give it to you and you could play with it. All right, later, man.